The Mass Effect series is for the most part a unique and intriguing venture into the world of science fiction, but it's no secret that a lot of what we see is deeply inspired by what came before. There is a significant comparison to be made with franchises such as Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Alien, and even older pieces of written literature from the likes of Isaac Asimov and Frank Herbert. There's countless examples all over the series, but there is three specific references that are so glaringly obvious in both the trilogy and Mass Effect Andromeda that they almost feel like plagiarism. Though I will admit that given BioWare's history with this particular franchise, it's likely nothing more than paying homage to a trilogy of films that deeply inspired the developers so much that they wanted to show their thanks in a subtle and tasteful way. Greetings Spacefarers, I'm Michael, and in this video I'd like to share with you what I can only presume you may have missed at first glance. Here are 3 examples of when Mass Effect shamelessly ripped off Star Wars. In what is possibly one of the most iconic set pieces in all of science fiction, our heroes in the original Star Wars find themselves having to hold off an onslaught of Imperial forces as they attempt to locate and rescue Princess Leia. That is, of course, only after the impetuous antics of scoundrel and smuggler Han Solo quite epically fail to convince the Death Star surveillance teams via the comm system that they are in fact not rebels breaking into their high-security detention center.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
We're sending a squad up.
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Mass Effect Andromeda may not have had the greatest reception upon release, it was borderline incomplete at launch, and even fully patched was still plagued by severe bugs and ultimately a less than thrilling story. However, it did in fact have several exceptional quality loyalty missions, which would thrust Pathfinder Ryder and crew into some insanely well-developed gameplay and squadmate shenanigans. One such mission would involve Ryder assisting Liam Costa in fixing a mistake which had resulted in an Angaran acquaintance of his named Varand getting captured by pirates. It starts out as a simple get in and get out extraction, much in the same vein as Luke Skywalker's intention to rescue the princess. But it very quickly escalates as everything begins to not go as planned. With the pirates' ship defenses going into action, Ryder's opponents become alerted to their presence, and upon dealing with the initial wave, this is the cutscene we are treated to.
Everything's under control. Just a simple weapon malfunction. How are you?
What is this? Get cameras on the bay. We'll figure it out! Stokes. This ship is property of Talonwing. Now you're property too, just like the rest.
Well, that wasn't going anywhere useful. Shoot pirates, rescue contact?
Not exactly word for word, but it's too close to be a coincidence. Whilst the first 2 games in the series are as a whole equally as inspired by Star Wars as the rest, it isn't until Mass Effect 3 where the next 2 on-the-nose references show up. In what can only be described as, once again, one of the greatest set pieces in science fiction, the Rebel Alliance and our heroes find themselves besieged by the mighty fleet of the Galactic Empire on the ice planet of Hoth, filled with thrilling snowspeeder battles against imposing Imperial walkers and a suspenseful race to the Millennium Falcon. It's oddly peculiar that it was in fact the following scenarios that BioWare chose to homage. To do it justice, I need to just show you a side-by-side.
The first transport is away.
Shuttle 1 is away.
Yes, with Cerberus in place of the Empire and a collection of ex-Cerberus scientists in place of the rebels, Shepard and company find themselves participating in an evacuation of an ice planet secret base of their own. And it's not just the premise, some of the references are almost word for word.
Imperial troops have entered.
Cerberus troops are...
How many of you caught that one? Let me know in the comments. And if you're liking this comparison so far, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, it would really mean a lot. Now this one I'm willing to bet my life on most of you caught upon first playing the Citadel DLC. But it's not the obvious nature of it that stood out to me. It's that of all 3 of these examples, it clearly wins as the most in-your-face, sue as if you have to, shameless homage of all. The Cantina sequence in Star Wars is of course incredibly significant for how it contributed to pop culture. The famous Cantina band, not understanding what a parsec is, casual droid xenophobia, Han definitely shooting first. and of course, the conception of the Jedi's affinity for dismemberment. Anyway, here it is.
He doesn't like you.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you either.
Hey, my friend doesn't like alliance types.
Buddy, we're right in the middle of something.
I don't like alliance types either.
I find it funny that the developers chose what is actually quite a brutal sequence to showcase what, in contrast, is a fun, haha, jovial cutscene. After all, two extremely drunk and volatile, highly trained killers beating the ever-loving shit out of a random Vulture and Batarian is peak Mass Effect comedy in my humble opinion. But what it does serve to illustrate quite effectively in the same manner is be careful who you randomly try to threaten just because you don't like them. It might work out for you in the 12 other systems where you currently have a death sentence. It's messing with those who might have a death sentence in every system you need to worry about. Anyways, I remember noticing all three of these examples upon my first playthrough of each game, and I always wanted to tell someone. Even if you knew already, let's spark up a conversation. Can you think of any other glaring Star Wars references in Mass Effect? Let me know in the comments section below. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell notification icon to be informed of more useless yet informative videos. Keela Salai, my friends, and until next time.
The Force will be with you, always.